Burwell cuts it back inside, but nice tackle by the Vegas corner on that play.
So that was on a 3rd and 7 play. 1st and 10. You know, the other thing I thought your team did this week that it had struggled a little bit with in previous weeks is once you got in scoring position, you were able to get touchdowns for the most part instead of attempting field goals or no points at all.
We've obviously emphasized that. And here's a good run by Burwell, cutting back, a good move, jumping over some people. Burwell cuts it back inside, but nice tackle by the Vegas corner on that play.
So that was on a 3rd and 7 play. 1st and 10. You know, the other thing I thought your team did this week that it had struggled a little bit with in previous weeks is once you got in scoring position, you were able to get touchdowns for the most part instead of attempting field goals or no points at all.
We've obviously emphasized that. And here's a good run by Burwell, cutting back, a good move, jumping over some people at the line of scrimmage, and great second effort taking 2 tacklers with him into the end zone.
So the touchdown for Burwell, and the point after is good, and now the Ducks lead it 21-0. Vegas gets the ball back at their own 20, and this, I guess, was typical of the day. McLean really had no running room. He only had one decent run on the day. Your defense did a great job against their run.
Really did. And what a collision there. Just a tremendous collision by Molden and Castle on the receiver, although he did hang on the ball, made a nice catch. Ernest Jones comes in and makes a tackle for a loss on the next play. See on the replay, bottom of the screen here comes Ernest Jones, number 40, right there getting a square up tackle, taking the back straight back. That's textbook tackling.
So Vegas 4th and 1, and they were unable to handle the exchange, and so that goes actually as a turnover because of the fumble. And Oregon now with the football back.
Little cross trap. We've got what we call our dollar backfield with the 2 halfbacks in there, and we hand back on the cross trap to Burwell, and another nice big hole. Steve Harden, big 77, back in action. Nice to see him in there, and he opens up the hole for Burwell. Just a nice run here by Ricky Whittle. Gets hit in the backfield and still picks up 12 yards. You can see on the replay, Whittle bounces this outside. Somebody missed a block inside. He sheds the tackle, just uses his speed and running aggressively to pick up the 1st down.
So this next play we see is 2nd down and 12 from midfield. Nice touch by O'Neill to Burwell and a gain of 17.
On the replay, you can see again, this is a little swing pass where actually it's a crack screen almost. We're bringing the wide receiver in, blocking the man that's responsible for Burwell in man coverage, and Burwell picks up a nice gain. But it was, as you mentioned, a very nice touch pass by Danny O'Neill.
The drive stalled, and Tommy came in to attempt a field goal, and this would have had plenty of distance. But again, a little bit wide right.
Plenty of distance again, and I'm least glad he missed them in the same area because that's correctable. At least you can adjust your approach a little bit. Nice play again by Alex Molden, tackle for loss. Go back to handoff on a draw play, and we get in there to make the sack. Little exchange problem in the backfield, and you can see DJ Cabrera and Romeo Bandison meet at the quarterback, so to speak.
Good place to meet. And then Jeremy Asher.
Jeremy's playing some outstanding football for a redshirt freshman. He's from Tigard, Oregon, is used to playing on winning football teams, and what a nice play he makes there on the draw play.
So, Las Vegas again forced to punt. Remember the last time, Ronnie Harris ran one back for a touchdown. This time he tries the left side, gets a great block right there.
Tony Coker, that's a highlight film block. That's the type of blocks on the peel back we want to get on the wall on the punt return. Play action pass over the middle to Derek Deadweiler, bounces off of a tackle, hangs on to the football. Nice catch, nice run.
Gain of 23.
You see on the replay, excellent pass protection after the draw fake, and O'Neill delivers it right on the money, in stride, and Derek does a nice job of breaking tackles and continuing with second effort.
Winding down second quarter, Ducks leading 21-0 at the time.
Trap play again, which you saw a little earlier. Same cross buck action, ground level. You can see a nice block by Eric Barnes on the trap, and Burwell high steps through the hole and picks up a real nice gain.
He could lead the band out at halftime with that high step and give in one of those hats and a baton. 1st and 10, 24. I mean, you had so many highlights in this quarter that we're not even showing a replay on this 13-yard gain.
Well, that was an awful nice one. And a big hole there again, same play, a cross trap again, only this time Donovan Moore's got it. You can see it from ground level. He breaks through a gaping hole in the middle of the Vegas defense, and I'm not sure. That looked like that ball was on the goal line, but Donovan had to wait till the last play basically to score, and O'Neal goes over the top on the quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
Can't remember the last time one of your quarterbacks actually ran for 2 touchdowns in a game. It's probably been quite some time.
Maybe yeah. Reggie Ogburn.
That's what I'm thinking. Or I don't know if Chris Miller ever did it. But there it is, another touchdown, 28-0 at the half. The Ducks totally dominating play. And when we come back, we'll have a special feature. We will profile one of the Oregon seniors, Paul Rodriguez. So stick with us. Time to take a break from the highlights and introduce you to one of the Oregon seniors who's played very well over the last couple of years, a guy that's been in and out of the starting lineup. Walt Fox has more on Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez made the biggest play of his career last week against Texas Tech. He knocked down a pass late in the game to save the win and end the Ducks' 8-game losing streak. He was a hero, and boy, the thrill of victory felt great.
I kind of had a feeling that they were coming at me because I think that they thought that receiver was beating me, but it was just the coverage we were in. I was trailing him, you know, for like the last 4 plays. I think we had that same coverage. That was the best feeling in the world. I mean, to just win the game after losing like 8 straight games, I think, oh man, it felt so good.
Rodriguez has been in and out of the Ducks starting lineup the last 2 seasons. The senior from Sacramento started the first 5 games last season, then gave way to Chad Cota. This season, he was back in the starting lineup while Eric Castle was out with mono. But now Castle's back, and Rodriguez is the top reserve. He was disappointed to lose his starting job, but he knows he'll get his chances to play.
I got to give it my all every time I'm in there, and you know, hope obviously for the best for our defense, and hope nobody goes down. But if Cota or Castles goes down, I'm ready to step up and play.
Rodriguez almost wasn't a Duck. In fact, he almost wasn't a football player. He only played his senior year in high school, but played well enough to get the attention of the Ducks. He had a lot to learn when he got to Oregon, and now he's putting it all to good use.
I'm not a super athlete where I could just be all over the field, you know. So I gotta play smart and with discipline.
Rodriguez plans to graduate with a degree in sociology. He wants to work with kids as a counselor or a teacher. But first, he wants to feel that thrill of victory a few more times. Reporting for the Rich Brooks Show, I'm Walt Fox.
Well, when we come back, we'll get into the 3rd quarter highlights. The Ducks leading Las Vegas at the half, 28-0. All right, let's get into the 3rd quarter highlights. The Ducks will be kicking off to start the 3rd period of play as Las Vegas picks up action right here. Kind of a broken play, loss of 1. John Tomo-Pial and Terrell Edwards in there to make the stop. This is 2nd down at 11. Good pressure up front. So on 4th and 11, Las Vegas has to boot it away.
There's good pressure by Jeff Cummins on the last play. And now Ronnie Harris breaks a low punt and just takes his speed and turns it on. I'm not sure when anybody's had 160 yards in returns as an individual. Derek Deadweiler added 20 more for 180 yards in punt return yardage in one game. That's got to be close to a record as well. But nice job by Ronnie, just using his speed, taking the seam, and trying to get what he can, and he did. If we'd have been able to peel back on the one guy that came in from the side, he'd have been one-on-one with a punter again, and I would have liked to have seen that. Derek Deadweiler gets a block downfield on the wide screen, and he picks up a 1st down. You see on the replay, we're releasing the Vegas lineman in. Derek comes down the line of scrimmage, and we get a block by Tom Curran out there. We got 2 guys going to block the same guy, so we need to get that corrected. That might have been a bigger play. And Burwell gets a little face mask penalty there, but They had done a very good job of stunning into the hole where we were running, and they didn't do that very often. But Willie Tate makes a catch out in the flat. Seeing a lot of extensive duty this week because of Vince Ferry's tender ribs. And here he is again, getting his first catch for a touchdown. A very nice catch, I might add. Ball thrown behind him. He went up. Danny really put this ball in about the only spot he could, away from the Vegas defenders, right to where it could be caught by Willie Tate.
So you start the second half as you ended the first half, scoring, getting on the board, and you maintain the momentum. Sometimes teams have the big leads at halftime and you come out a little flat, but it was good to see that your team did not do that.
It really was, and we talked about that obviously at halftime, Todd, because we wanted to be in a position where we could get some people in the game. And Mitch Signer, his first play in college football. He's from over in Crane in Eastern Oregon, Southeast Oregon actually, played 8-man football. He's a redshirt freshman defensive lineman, and what a great effort he makes running through the blocker and making the tackle on the kickoff there.
Nice play. Vegas unable to move it. The Ducks get it back. Midway third quarter, leading 35-0.
Just a big gaping hole for Dwayne Jones on the belly play. You can see the left side of the line cave it in. Mike DeFonso and Justin Stark caved him in there, and Dwayne does a nice job protecting the football and picking up a first down.
Gain of 16. Ball at the 38. Danny eludes the traffic, scrambles, gets out of bounds, gain of 9. So it's 2nd down and 1 from the 29. Burwell gets through the line into the secondary, turns on the Jets, and scores.
That's a great run. Obviously a nice crease at the line of scrimmage, but watch the change of direction with decisive moves that Sean makes right there. Boom, boom. Gets a nice block from Anthony Jones to spring him for the touchdown.
So Burwell, I think that was the last time we saw Sean in the game. He finished the day with over 150 yards rushing, leading 42-0. So now it's a great opportunity to get some of the other guys in. Terrell Edwards says that before I leave, I'd like to get a couple of sacks.
Yeah, this was his last series. I think he knew it, and he decided to take full advantage of it. There he is coming in on the sack. Troy Bailey, a redshirt freshman, in there with him. And right back again. Here he comes again, causing the fumble. Troy Bailey, the redshirt freshman from Hawaii, recovers it. You can see Terrell come in from the outside, gets just a vicious hit on the quarterback, and Troy Bailey recovers the fumble.
So you unable to move it. Tommy Thompson comes in, nails this field goal from 32 yards out, and the score is 45-0, and there's still a lot of time left to play in the football game. Vegas gets it back. Alex Molden.
Could have been a touch if he'd have been able to hang on to that, but he did a real good job just reacting to it as the receiver broke by. And here comes Tony Coker, sophomore from Lebanon, Oregon, on a little TE stunt coming from the outside, looping in. You can see him appear right up the middle there. And, well, we got the wrong replay on that one, but Coker is the one that got the sack that we were going to look at on the replay. Here's another line drive punt. Hits the ground. Derek Detweiler does a nice job fielding it, and he gets a nice 20-yard return, trying to cut it back where Isaac Walker's trying to make the block there. And Ricky Whittle on the sweep, picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
So it's 1st and 10. Whittle again.
He usually doesn't go down with the first tackler. There's a lot of power in that diminutive body of his. Play action fake by Musgrave. Musgrave throws back to Kristen McLemore, a redshirt freshman, getting his first Oregon touchdown.
So he gets on the board. It's good to see that. I think that was his 2nd reception of the season. He had one in the opener against Hawaii. So the young guys getting an opportunity to play, and we'll see a lot more of them in the 4th quarter when we come back. All right, into the 4th quarter we go. The Ducks having their way with Las Vegas as we pick up action here. It's a 1st and 10 for Las Vegas, and you've got some reserves in there. Ron Hardy, number 5, making the stop.
Ron Hardy and Mitch Signer combined for the stop here. Nice job for a 1-yard loss.
Vegas able to keep the drive going a bit, but this is a 2nd and 10 play, and nothing doing.
Rich Rule, a redshirt freshman from Roseburg, comes in after Mitch Signer almost makes the tackle for a loss. Rich Rule does. 2 redshirt freshmen getting some extensive playing time in the 4th quarter.
All right, now you got some different people in offensively. Dan Mead finally getting to carry the pigskin, and he doesn't want to go down.
The bulldozer.
Is that what you call him?
Absolutely. He's a powerful guy. It's a nice block there for Donovan Moore, and Donovan, who hasn't been able to play as much. He hurt his ankle in fall camp. And Danny Mead.
The bulldozer.
The bulldozer gets right back up. It's no big deal for him to get hit. You'll see him come back a little later here.
Yeah, he does.
And a nice catch and run here by Corey Murphy, and I think he got robbed of a touchdown there. The ball's in his right hand. It crosses the goal line and the pylon, and they mark it out. Oh, we get a great ground level shot of it, and I think you'll be able to see that right here. The ball's in his right arm. It crosses the goal line. I mean, that's a stone-cold touchdown. That's too bad because he had never scored one, and he'll get some other chances. Ricky Whittle again gets ejected out of bounds, but just like the bouncing ball, he'll come back.
Well, Vegas gets it back. Is play now a little bit sporadic, and this is the only big play you gave up in the game, unfortunately. It breaks the shutout, 63-yard touchdown pass to Bailey.
It is too bad. We were blitzing him with some young people, didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Here comes Whittle back like I said he would, making a nice gain. That's his last play of the day. I was mentioning, you can see on the replay here, nice job, whole right side of the line caves it in. Donovan Moore came into fall camp as our first-string tailback. Yeah. Injured his ankle in practice. Missed the first game, was a little still limping in the 2nd and 3rd, and he's coming back to full strength. And since then, Burwell and Whittle have obviously done some very impressive things. Here comes big bulldozer Mead again, just plowing it up in there.
Gets 9 yards, and then the final play that we will see. Donovan Moore, good to see him get into the end zone for the touchdown, and we'll look at it again.
Little toss sweep, nice job out in front there by Mike DeFonso, who's still in the game because we just don't have enough guards right now. And Tommy Thompson tacks on and ties Ken Woody's modern-day record for extra points in a single game.
I wasn't aware that Ken actually played in the modern era. So there you see the final score, 59-6. I'll hear about that next week. All right, let's take a look at your team. You seem to be building some momentum. After the first 2 games, it's almost like you've gotten better each week. I know you wanted to get better sooner, but your analysis of your team at this stage.
Well, I think when you look at our team, you have to say that we're playing pretty good football now. We certainly didn't play as well early, but you look at Hawaii, they're undefeated. They beat BYU last night. They're 3-0, leading the WAC conference. Stanford has lost the 1 game which they lost before they played us. They're in the top 20. Texas Tech clobbered Baylor yesterday. We knew they were a good football team. So we're playing good football. The quality of the team we just defeated isn't the same quality of a Texas Tech, and certainly not the quality of Arizona State or Washington or SC or the teams we're going to be seeing in the next 7 weeks. But the good news is we've made progress. We've got something to build on.
All righty, indeed you do after the big win, and hopefully you get another win next week against the Sun Devils. Once again, thank you very much for joining us, and for the coach, good afternoon.
The Oregon Sports Network presents The Rich Brooks Show. Sponsored in part by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste nothing beats a Bud. By Bi-Mart. Bi-Mart beats the high cost of living every day. By the Oregon Lottery. For the Oregon economy, there's no such thing as a losing ticket. By State Farm Insurance and the State Farm agents throughout Oregon. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Gatorade.